Hello and welcome back to my eruption of shame for April of 2022. So today we have a lovely selection of Humble Bundle games, but are they actually worth your time? My initial impressions are, my initial impressions were kind of but my look at it again impressions improved somewhat. It's a mixed bag of games as it always is. And I've only owned one of them, I believe. So, yeah, as usual, if you want to pick up the bundle, there'll be links in the description down below. If you're already using it though, remember your membership discount and all that sort of jazz. But if you're not using it, well, maybe this video will change your mind. Now, as usual, we will look through all the Humble Bundle games, and then we'll also look through all of the Prime games for the month. And yes, that should be very exciting. So, yeah. All right, so starting off with number one with Ghostrunner. Now, this says it's an action game, but I've never actually heard of this one before, so I think it's a good idea just to watch it.
Lockdown lifted.
Well done.
Well, the graphics are damn spectacular.
And set humanity back on its path.
What path is that?
One free from Mara and her reign of terror.
All Dharma City residents should remain indoors for their own safety. Residents found outside their homes will be shot on sight. A trespasser spotted in the area. Eliminate him at all cost.
If you want to survive, I am your best bet.
Chaos 74 located. Permission to engage.
Okay, can I just say, A, that looks pretty damn cool, but B, I wish it had VR. I don't know if it does or not. I'm just trying to check that right now. It looks like it would be a beautiful game, but B, a really good game for VR. So I don't know if it's actually got that support. It probably doesn't. No, at least on Steam. It's a shame, but it looks exactly what you'd want in that. So, like, honestly, this is a good, strong, solid opening, at least in my mind. It's not a like a massive title by any stretch, but it's something unique. It's positively received, and matches the current love of cyberpunk. So I'm always on board with that. So yeah. All right, fair. Next one. Destroy all humans. Now, I'm gonna guess this trailer will be just as crazy as the game is. So,
Snack time. Okay, we'll do it your way. Son of a... You want a war? You got Come and get me, you common piece of crap!
now, when Destroy All Humans remake first came out, the biggest complaint I and other people had of it was its price, but I put it instantly on my wish list and got it when it came on sale a little while later. Now, it should be said, this game does actually seem to be quite fun. And if you don't have it / didn't want to pay the full price, this is a fantastic addition. The game basically is an arcadey game where you go around basically as an alien trying to kill all the humans. There's a series of comedic elements in the story mode and a lot of action and just chaos and mayhem. It sort of reminds me a little bit of Stubbs the Zombie. I don't think it's done as well as Stubbs the Zombie. At least I just really love Stubbs the Zombie. But it's a pretty good pickup for this pack as well, based on the fact that its price is quite high. You get to go around and do a bunch of cool stuff. As you can see here, there's the UFO you can fly around with. And yes, it is as fun as it looks. You don't necessarily get to use as much as I would have liked, at least in the game, in the missions I have played. I honestly need to go back to it again at some point. But yeah, not bad. Not bad. Monster Sanctuary. Now, this one says action, indie, adventure, RPG, strategy. And based on this image, it looks like it could be just my jam. But when I look at the rest of the gameplay down below, it's a little bit more not so sure about. Let's have a look at the video. It's giving me Terraria vibes or Starbound vibes. Is it just basically Terraria with pets? Like, I know Terraria has... Okay, I'm okay with that. It's like side-scrolling Pokemon. Doesn't look like it's as expensive as some of the other games either at $28. The music is not bad either. Interesting. Yeah, like the bear. Very interesting. Okay. So, when I try not to look into these games too much before I do the video, because the whole point about this series is to be first impressions of all the new shit I'm adding, and to provide some people some ideas about if I do know the games. But no, this looks, it says Metroidvania inspired, but I'm actually getting even more of a Terraria feel to it. Oh no, I can't see the Metroidvania up there. But no, this looks very interesting, really. I don't know if I'll be any good at it, but I'll happily add it on to my my mountain to find out later. So yeah, fair enough. All right, Kill Squad, action indie game, co-op action game that blends twin stick shooter, hack and slash, and drops in the dash of character customization and progression. Well, I like character customization and progression, so.
Are you tired of aliens and space douchebags invading your homelands?
Yes.
Don't you worry no more. Call in the Kill Squad. This expendable team of bounty hunters beats, shoots, and thrashes the pest out of the way without any afterthought or consideration for their own safety. Whether you're into crushing bad guys, filling them with lead, slicing people into oblivion, melting alien faces, or triggering doomsday itself, the Kill Squad formula is the solution. But wait, there's more!
Whoa!
Kill Squad in the next 20 minutes and receive this adorable loot drone for free! Oh, never mind. Don't wait. Call Wallet Corp now. Hire the Kill Squad today. While the corporation frees itself of any charges including accidental arson, environmental destruction, or species extinction, satisfaction more or less guaranteed. Okay,
I love the bloody marketing, I can say that much. The game could be terrible, but I love the marketing, so fair. Okay, so Kill Squad. It's another one of a relatively high price tag. I've never heard of this one before. I don't think it's on my wish list anyway. Usually you'd think it would be. In fact, it might be. Who knows? My list is like 400 games. You might be like, how can you... It doesn't matter. So, Mostly positive though, so it's definitely less less positively received as the other games in the bundle so far. But I mean, it's giving me Helldivers vibes and a little bit of a dash of Awesome Noughts. I'm here for it. I think this sounds great. Let's see. Shoot fast, dodge, or die even faster. Our core are short 10 to 20 minute adventure pumping contracts. You enjoy solo or up to 4 friends and co-op. Huh. Not bad. Has a little bit of a sphere grid style. Not as sphere griddy, but still. Contracts. Okay. Loot. Ooh, I like loot. I mean, it's got all the right ingredients for a pretty great game there. So, yeah, okay. Oh, you know, I'm sorry to come around to this bundle a little bit. Let's have a look at this this next one. Now, this is another mostly positive title. $30 value, at least in Australia. That reminds me of some stuff that used to have in Zelda. Like, a lot of this is giving me a Zelda vibe. Like that. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is it's co-op Zelda, essentially, right? Co-op Zelda, that's what we're looking at here. Published by Team 17, fair enough. Yeah, okay. Fair enough, 76% mostly positive ratings. 4-player roguelite adventure. Look, I'm gonna say once again, this one looks like it has all the right ingredients. Rebuild your town for upgrades. I'm in. I love town rebuilding abilities, and I love that when it's combined with roguelites. I think it's a perfect combination because basically you unlock new classes or new weapons or whatever. Okay, yep. That one's shot up my level of excitement for this bundle too. Now, Suzerain. Suzerain is a game I have heard of before. It's fairly well reviewed at 90% positive, and I think it's been on my wish list for a very long time just because of its interesting concept, but I don't think I've ever actually looked into it too much. So let's have a look at the trailer for this one too. There's a lot of games we'll look at the trailer for as well. This is a good sign. It means they're games that we don't necessarily, I can't necessarily just tell you what it is in 2 seconds, but they're also looking quite entertaining. So that's good, right?
Today, Anton Rain has been elected president. The people have spoken. Our country has had a rough past, riddled with coups, civil wars, and shifting ideologies. Today, we embark on a new era for the country, a time of hope and change. But make no mistake,
I'm totally on board
it
here.
does not come easy.
The rich.
How will President Rain pull our country out of ruin? Can he stimulate our economy? Advance foreign relations? Reform our broken constitution? Mr. President, it's time to address the nation.
So a lot of these sort of games often have pretty low ratings. So yeah, that's a thing. However, this one does not seem to, which is interesting. Swordland emerging for 20-year dictatorship following a bloody civil war. You'll play as a charismatic young man named Anton Rain. Yeah, no, that's ooh, it's got character customization, though not too much, but still. Very interesting. very interesting to me. So happy to finally have that on my list. I know it's only a $20 game, but you know what? That is another one. So yeah, it's like the third game now I've seen. Like, that's pretty exciting, really. And this is another one I have on my wish list, and have had it on my wish list for some time. So fantastic. I mean, granted, it's probably just there because of birds, but I guess we'll see what you think.
A rough night in CLAWVILLE.
What now?
Well, let's gather my stuff and head to the club.
One bizarre case to solve.
What a pleasant surprise. Who looks the cop was in person?
Never heard that one before.
You here for a good old-fashioned beating?
A dame to die for.
We gotta find out who this Natasha is and what she wants from us. I mean, what does she really want?
Lawrence?
Let loose your animal instincts.
After you, Boss Bird.
Because tonight, you'll have to go wild.
Blow me, Sonny. You know I don't use that name anymore.
The legendary chicken police is back together. Isn't it amazing news?
I see why I wishlisted this one. Narrative-based noir adventure filled with animals and birds, particularly. It seems pretty great to me. And apparently a lot of people agree because that's 96% overwhelmingly positive. It's a $28 game, at least in Australia. And yeah, honestly, what can I say? It just looks like another solid, interesting experience. So, like, none of these games are, like, standout games, but, like, they've all been something I've been at least remotely interested in. I think you might be a little bit more disappointed than I am if you've got less of a broad interest in games than I do, just because, like, there's a lot of different games in these bundles these days. Like, they generally seem to want to get a little bit of everything in here. And I think this is the second last, if not last game. So, yes, second last game. So this one I'm a little bit less excited about, but I'll give it the best possible chance by starting this video.
What does strength mean to a ninja? What does it mean to be the strongest? In order to find the answer...
Oh god, I really hope this game doesn't cause us to have ads in the start of this video. But I don't think it sounds like it's copyright-ridden music. It looks pretty cool on the basis, but then you realize it's just a multiplayer team v team battle arena. And it's $70 worth, it's well received. If this is what you liked, this is definitely a great addition to the bundle. But for me personally, I think that this is the sort of game that if you wanted this game, you probably already own it. But maybe I mean, it's one of those expensive games too because of Bandai Namco, but you know, it's not my thing. I'll give it that much. So yeah, yeah, meh. So as you see, all the keys are Steam, which is always a good thing. We got 8 games, so yeah, not too bad, and they're all relatively good. I'd say realistically, this seems like a fairly decent bundle, even if there's no real headliners. There's some really solid games here. I want to try out a few of these. I want to try out Kill Squad. I want to try out Rogue Heroes. I want to try out Suzerain. I want to try out Chicken Police. I'll probably fail at Monster Sanctuary. Destroy Humans, I can recommend. It's already a good game. And Ghostrunner, yeah, also looks alright. So realistically, I don't see this as a bad thing, but I think it might be beaten out by this month's Amazon Prime games. So Amazon Prime is usually a little bit unorthodox. It's games basically they sort of modulate between being very interesting and very low quality. And today's games look like it's no different. So yes. What we have here is we have a bunch of games. The headliner, of course, is obviously Oblivion, which if you've never played it, how? Like, did you miss? How would you miss that? But then again, I've got a few kids who in my class, and they definitely haven't. But anyway, it's weird. Hopefully everyone who hasn't done it will try it out. Now, Oblivion itself has a massive modding community. You can get it from the Nexus, so you can probably still use the GOG version. I don't know why you couldn't. Personally, I'm just happy to see it here. A DRM version, a free version of Oblivion is great. I'd love to see Morrowind pop up more imperatively. And can you imagine the furor if Skyrim was given out for free? But I highly doubt that would be the case. So yeah, let's go have a look at some of these games, because there's a few here which look quite interesting to me, and I know they're interesting. Now, obviously, the first one is Elder Scrolls Skyrim, which Oblivion, which needs no introduction, so I'm not going to bother playing it. Everyone's probably seen this already. There's nothing that's going to be shown from the cinematic trailer that you would have already seen. Look, it is overwhelming positive, and it is that way for a reason. It is filled with mods. It can be basically turned into one of the best games. I always say Morrowind has the best world, Skyrim has the best gameplay, but Oblivion has the best quests. So it's definitely not to be left in the dark. I should be said though, recommendation if you are going to go play this, make sure you install one of the rebalance mods, because there's nothing more annoying than when enemies level up with you, and suddenly the starter ruin at the end of the game has people wearing the highest level stuff just because you're at the highest level. Yes, it's good for your ability to get loot, but it means you're basically just going to farm that one ruin because it's the most practical. It's easy to get all the stuff. It's easy to get everything. It's always got loot there. Like, that's the problem if you keep it leveling up. So I prefer to have a scaled combat system, but apart from that, it's a pretty great game. So make sure you mod it to the hilt and have some fun. So yeah. Second game is Plants vs. Zombies Battle for the Neighborhood. Now, this is a multiplayer game. It's on Origin only. I personally don't care about it one bit. I always preferred the original, and I was always a little bit salty that Plants vs. Zombies 2 never came out on PC. I hope still one day it might, but I doubt it. Look, if you want to play Battle for Neighborville, I should say unbiasedly that I have heard it is quite good. It's basically a multiplayer, player versus player sort of situation, so you get what's on the tin basically. You obviously get to play with the zombies, you get to play with the plants, and that's it really. Anyway, if you like the look of this, pick it up. It's free once again. I believe this one is definitely, it's Origin, has to be. Now let's have a look at the other one. So we have the House of 1,000 Doors, Family Secrets. This is clearly a puzzle / hidden object game. Now, we played one of these sort of style games on the channel, and I was surprised by how competent it was for what it is. So I'm not opposed to having this in the bundle. In fact, it's probably a good quote-unquote stocking filler. So yeah. Now, this is one I can finally speak positively about. Now, I used to love the first pen and paper of pen and paper games, which is basically D&D. This one is now the same thing, but in space. And you know how much I love space. So I played a little bit of this. I still need to play a little bit more of it, but basically it's turn-based combat combined with a very interesting storytelling where you are playing a pen and paper RPG game. Now, it should be said, I don't think this one leaned as heavily and as well into its pen and paper roots. Like the original had a lot more, oh, I gotta go have lunch or something or whatever. It had a lot more like interactions for the people at the party table than this one seems to. But that being said, it's still relatively well received. It's definitely not a bad thing to have, So yeah, why not? Nanotale Typing Chronicles. Now, I'm not actually sure what this one is, so I kind of just want to play the video, but like,
Still young.
It's about typing?
possess. You are more powerful than you can possibly imagine. When you do what you think is right, true magic will find its way to you.
Don't get me wrong, it looks really good. Based on the graphic style and the music and even the voice acting. Just not sure. Is the core gameplay loop to do with typing?
Maybe it is our minds that speak to each other. I saved him, he tells me. I summoned the spirit fox within him. He couldn't find himself. He is now bound to me until I release him.
Honestly, this game looks so well made. I'm actually kind of digging it. This trailer is also very well made.
Knowledge is power, my dear.
Very interesting. Okay. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Adventure typing exploration RPG indie. Hey, this might be a good game to get kids to play. If it helps them learn their typing. So, yeah, I mean, the best way to learn these sorts of games, or these sorts of skills, is by having fun. I learnt touch typing by writing a book, basically. Not that it was ever published, but it was like I got through 50,000 words of a novel that never went anywhere as a kid in high school. And essentially, after it, I could touch type. And I think the best way of learning how to touch type is not with those silly typing activities where you do the same thing over and over again. No, they didn't help at all. I think the best way to learn how to touch type is when you're doing it for your own purposes. So something like this might actually work, which is cool. Okay. Guild of Ascension. Now, this one says it's a tactical action RPG with roguelike elements. Already ticking all the boxes in my mind. However, I mean, there's no however, I don't think. That looks pretty cool. So yeah, 1 player, 2 characters, collect the loot, craft their equipment, battle giant bosses. Okay, so it's clear onto the grid where you jump around. You must have to swap between 2 players. No co-op? No co-op. Interesting. I guess co-op, if the gimmick is you're trying to control 2 at once, if you let multiplayer or co-op, it would basically just turn to any other game. So, but that being said, a lot of games aren't really afraid of that usually. Like Sniper Elite, for example, becomes a completely different game when you've got a co-op partner because suddenly you can be revived. And it does change everything. So I know, it looks interesting. Now, say the last one is Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. Now, this is a charming, beautiful game with some really weird humor. I played it on the channel and I loved it. So this is definitely something worth looking at. It is a short game. It is an adorable game. And yeah, just play it. It's weird, it's funny, and I had a good time with it. It's one of the games that after I played it, for my channel, I did go back and pay and play the rest, so that's a good sign. But the final one, I thought it was a good pickup. I honestly thought it's a great pickup. It came into more of an interesting position. So this is LeChuck, Monkey Island 2: LeChuck's Revenge. Now, this is a remake of the original. However, it does contain both the new art and the old art. And unlike the original remake version of Monkey Island, this one you can actually just choose to play the old game with the voice acting, which I think was the best change possible. Not that I have anything against the new art style, but I definitely prefer that beautiful, beautiful pixel style. Like, the idea that is what things need to look like when it goes... I mean, it's better than going to 3D, I suppose. Like, the worst one was the 4th Monkey Island game, which is all 3D, and it was god-awful. But yeah. So look, Monkey Island's pretty fantastic. If you've never seen it before, like it's about this guy here who is a mighty pirate.
Do turn up in the strangest places.
Hi, Elaine.
Is this gonna be the intro, or is this actually gonna be a trailer?
How did you get into this mess?
It's kind of a long story.
Oh, that's okay. I've got time.
Well, it all started on Scab Island. Some of my admiring fans had pressured me.
Yeah, this is the intro.
Story once again.
Deep in the Caribbean.
Alright, so essentially though, this game has earned its overwhelmingly positive reviews. It is a classic, it is amazing. If you've never played this before, you definitely should. It doesn't matter if you haven't played the first one, but it helps. Look, this is beautiful. Okay? So definitely the highlight alongside Oblivion right here. However, after this came out, it was revealed something quite interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Ron Gilbert told me he'd never make another Monkey Island unless...
Look, I'm really happy about this. This makes me so bloody happy. I woke up to this news and I was just like, damn! I was so not expecting this. When I saw this pop up on Prime, I was just like, oh, that's a good pickup. And then a couple of days later to see this announced. Basically, it's the original, one of the original developers of Monkey Island has came back to make a sequel. So this particular person, Ron Gilbert, he said he wasn't going to make another Monkey Island unless a big long list of demands was met. Now that list of demands has been deleted from the internet now, which implies that probably, it's not entirely accurate anymore. But the idea is that this is a cult classic. This is a beautiful thing. And what they've done here looks really, really good. Because what they've done is they've taken all the art style of the old one, all the love and the feeling and the emotion, much better than the remakes even did, and channeled into a 2D sort of setup, similar to what the old games were like. Now, it should be said, as well, there's a few interesting things here, such as the fact that that was Murray. Well, who's Murray? Murray, the Talking Skull. Now, one of the things in Ron Gilbert's big long list of things which would happen is that he would basically make Monkey Island 3 no longer canon. Now, Monkey Island 3 was a game that he had no part of, but it was the last good Monkey Island game. So let's look at the trailer for this one. I know it's not included in any of your bundles, but if you get it, you should honestly get it. It's fantastic. Deep in the Caribbean, Monkey Island. And this is Guybrush. Now, this game was not made by the original person, and essentially he'd left at this point, but amazingly this game actually ended up being good. The next game, Escape from Monkey Island, was not, and it wasn't until Telltale came back and made a they were an okay series of games with the IP, but it sort of made it feel like the golden years of Monkey Island were gone, absolutely gone. But no, it looks like they're back. Like, don't get me wrong, I didn't mind the Telltale games. I see them as.
I might have the strength to sail on.
Yeah, this is pretty funny. I'm just gonna quiet for this.
But ocean for miles and miles.
This starts full water.
If I could reach land, I might find water and some food. Fruit, maybe. Something to fight off the scurvy and help me get my strength back. Maybe some bananas. Oh, why do I torture myself like this? I might as well wish for some chicken and a big mug of grog for all the good it'll do me. Oh, my sweet Elaine. Am I cursed to starve here on this ocean without seeing your face just one more time? Am I...
So the thing is, even though it wasn't made by the original creators, Curse of Monkey Island was incredibly well received and loved. So realistically, the idea that he wouldn't continue the story from that point was a little bit depressing for a lot of people. But with Murray being there, people are like, wait, Murray's there? And he had said in the original list that even if he didn't continue the story, he would use some of the characters from the more recent games, because obviously some of them were quite good. He's not a man that's not going to throw away something fantastic. But it turns out it's actually better than that, because he has announced on Twitter that Monkey Island 3 is not going out of canon, and they were very careful about that. So that's cool, right? That's really cool. But yeah, basically, that's really fun and really great for me. Like, honestly, the idea of getting this one for free, maybe we'll get the third one for free next time, because I know we have already gotten Monkey Island 1 for free at some point. I believe that was on Amazon Prime before I made the videos, though. But it was definitely an Amazon Prime free game at some other point. But still, really fantastic news. Really fantastic game. Honestly, between all the games in here and the games on Humble, I've got to say, this has been a pretty good month, really. April did not start in a particularly bad way. Let's hope it stays that way. But thank you for joining me on my Eruption of Shame. Hopefully, I'll see you at the end, or either for a Kickstarter video that no one will watch, or for the next bundle, not the next bundle, the next Humble bundle, and the next choice, and the next Amazon Prime, and blah blah blah. There was a few interesting things that popped up last month with the Ukraine bundles that came out. Sorry I didn't get the second one. It came out right before I went to work, and by the time I got home, it was sold out. But the Humble one was very well received, and yeah, essentially, as much as my viewer metrics, I do enjoy having the extra views. A tragedy like Ukraine is not something that I want to happen every day, so we can get a really cool bundle. So hopefully I don't see you now until the start of May. Oh God, how is this year going so fast? They always do. Anyway, thank you for joining me this time on my Eruption of Shame. I shall see you next time. Goodbye all, and please remember to keep checking out all my other series. I know, if you're here for this, you're here for this, but keep in mind, I play some of these games too. I've got my Mountain of Shame where I go off and play a bunch of these games. I have my Stardew series going on right now. I've still got the end of the Star Sector series coming out on Wednesdays. It'll come out with this video as well. I've started Arceus. That's fun. Like, there's a lot of cool games, obviously continuing or trying to continue Subnautica, but I swear every week I get closer to just saying, nope, I'm out. But I've still got that going as well. There's a bunch of stuff. If you want to see more, request a game. Like after I've played it, you're like, oh, I'd like to see you play more of that. Just go for it. I'll add it onto my list. I've got a few things on my list already, like Slime Rancher. I want to do a freelancer playthrough, which will probably release after the Star Sector stuff. I'm going to want to do a new playthrough when the new Solaris expansion pack comes out, because, you know, because there's also been a really cool mod for Gigastructures, which works really well with an upgrade for the Gigastructures, which works really well with that. And I'm just looking forward to having a good old-fashioned game of Solaris. But yeah, there's a lot of things I want to keep doing on the channel. I hope you decide to stay and stick around. If you like this video, if you somehow manage to reach the end, please do put a like on, subscribe. Anything helps, even if you don't ever look at me again. I hope you do though. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. I just reached 100 subscribers and also released a video for that, It was a modding video that I sort of second ever edited video. So make sure you check out that if you haven't. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.